Here's a pair of frightening facts for you. From 2011 to 2014, the percentage of 12th grade students who had ever used an e-cigarette increased from 4.7 to 17.2%. For the first time, more teenagers used e-cigarettes than smoked cigarettes. Now, you think that's bad enough? A study this past week, as we stand here at ESC, pointed out that e-cigarettes are now pretty well established as a bridge from e-cigarettes right into cigarettes. So we've had a problem with smoking in the past. It kind of looks like we will have one here in the future too. So we're looking at cardiovascular effects of exposure to cigarette smoke and electronic cigarettes. This is from the JACC September 22nd issue. And I am with Dr. Pamela Morris, who is the director of the Seinsheimer Cardiovascular Health Program and co-director of the Women's Heart Care Medical University of South Carolina, Charleston. First off, thank you very much. This is a great review of an issue that's very important. But what's new? What is it that we need to know about smoking that we don't already know, which is don't do it?
Oh, those are very good points. But, I think one of the issues is that despite the fact that we think we know so much about tobacco use and how to assist people in cessation, rates of cessation have actually declined over recent years. We continue to have, although the prevalence has decreased globally, because of the increase in the population, we have increasing numbers of smokers. So it is a problem that we need to continue to address. One of the other concerns is that we may be having difficulty with implementing cessation because the smokers who continue to smoke have a high residual addiction. And also, as we're all familiar with, there continues to be messaging fatigue. And that is, we've heard over and over and over again, stop smoking, don't do it. And people really have become numb. As we see now, there are even more and more sensational ads to try to attract the attention of smokers.
Well, I was kind of surprised that something like 1 out of 5 people continue to smoke. I mean, it's a little over 20% for men and a little under 20% for women. For the United States, I was kind of surprised. I didn't think it was going to be that high.
Well, I think what that points out is the highly addictive nature of nicotine. If it was easy to quit, we have many intelligent people who certainly would have quit smoking, but this is a substance that is delivered in a manner that is very highly pleasurable. So the process of smoking, and even now with electronic cigarettes, and we have flavors, it delivers a highly addictive substance. The problem is that substance also has more than 7,000 toxic chemicals in it.
And the pleasurable aspect, it's not just that it is, but it was designed that way.
Oh, it's
engineered. Millions of dollars, if not billions, have been spent.
It's a very highly engineered, well-designed delivery system that has truly captivated the attention of people throughout the globe.
So in this paper in JACC, in the September 22nd issue, what do we need to know?
Well, the important things that we want to cover in this, the last time a review of tobacco cessation appeared in JACC was actually in 2004. And while we think we knew everything there is to know about smoking, it's interesting. We have learned a great deal about the genetics of the initiation of tobacco use and the intensity of tobacco use. We've learned a lot about the effects of tobacco on epigenetics and modulation of the underlying genome. We've learned a lot about the clinical impacts of tobacco use. So its impact on atrial and ventricular arrhythmias, its impact on outcomes following interventional procedures. We've also learned a lot about secondhand smoke and the impact of smoke-free policies. And while we know that there is an important benefit of implementing smoke-free policies, they still are not universal. There are not enough smoking bans around our country. And other than those of you who live in my state where cigarettes are very affordable, cigarettes still remain quite affordable throughout the world. And that is a problem. The final thing that you bring up is the importance of electronic cigarettes. And the delivery systems for nicotine have really outpaced our research. We do not know enough about the health consequences of electronic cigarette use.
And hookahs are also in greater use today by a young group, and they think that it's safer.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the fact of the matter is, we just don't know.
No, exactly.
We do not know. So, the point of this paper is to really stimulate ongoing research, ongoing advocacy, and, really importantly, to make tobacco cessation intervention a clinical imperative for every patient. We as cardiologists need to take that important time to devote our expertise in assisting the patient to cease
But you
use
talked
of
about
these
fatigue,
products.
message fatigue earlier. The doctors have to be fatigued after all these years, and they're just hitting their head against the wall going, stop smoking, and yet there are so many patients, 20% still do.
Right.
So
And again,
it's what your message is, it's still worthwhile to say stop.
and it's also
And let me help you.
Absolutely, and it's also important, as you pointed out earlier, we need to prevent taking up this habit. So if electronic cigarettes prove to be a gateway delivery system, we need to be very proactive in reducing the uptake of use.
Well, you may think that you know an awful lot about smoking and why there's a need for smoking cessation. Please, I think you're going to learn a lot out of the September 22nd issue of JACC and this paper by Dr. Pamela Morris et al. Please go to JACC, and for CardioSource World News, I'm Executive Editor Rick McGuire.